Welcome to Expansions with me. I'm Jane. And this is our time to drop into a spiritual conversation, a spiritual topic, which is my favorite topic in the whole world because it's about anything and everything. And so I hope you're doing well wherever you are in this now moment. And I just want to, okay, I was looking for a timer, so I just make sure that I'm not gonna go an exorbitantly long amount of time. You're welcome in advance. So let's just become really present. Let's anchor into our body because the topic that I want to talk about, I just want to make sure that we're all like really grounded and settled and connected before we drop into this one because this is kind of a big one. So take a big breath in, please, and take a big breath out. Do a few more of those, just big full breath in. And when you exhale, just let your body relax. Breathe in big and full. Feel spirit enter your body. And as you exhale, your shoulders soften, your jaws relax, and you become present. You become aware of your body, the way the air is moving in and out of your lungs. Become aware of the space that you're taking up, the heaviness, the weight of you in this now moment. You become aware of the lightness of you, the effervescence of you, and the essence of you. You start to sense your unique nature, this divine blueprint, this template that only you can live into. Only you with the bones that you have, the blood you have, the organs you have, the eyes you have, the face you have, this whole body that only you can have. Become aware of you in this now moment. Releasing any ideas of what has happened before this now and any ideas of what needs to happen after this now, and just come into the realization that it's just now. It's the only thing that's happening. It's the only place you need to be is here, right now. So together we'll take another big breath in and a big breath out. Okay, bye. Just kidding. Um, so I want to talk about some things that I feel are happening in this now moment for the collective, for humanity. And this may be something that resonates as truth for you, and this may be something that doesn't resonate as truth for you. And either way, it's totally okay. The invitation is to just be here with me, leave your comments, leave your mind open, definitely leave your heart open. No judgment on anything I'm saying or doing, and no judgment over anyone else for whatever anyone else is thinking and saying and doing in these now moments. So I feel we are moving through a collective purge, a huge shift, a moving into a new way of being. There has been a lot of energy that has been moving in. The Schumann resonance of the earth has increased. It's been spiking a good bit. And so if you're sensitive to energy, which if you're a human, that's probably you, you might be feeling this in a multitude of ways. So that means that you may have nights that you have had a little trouble sleeping. I've had a few nights where I've just been like laying there with my eyes open, and I'm like, wait, my eyes are open. I'm not gonna sleep like that. Let me close them. And so I close them, and next thing you know, I'm like, wait, they're open again. What is happening for hours, hours? Which is not like me. Normally I lay down, I'm like out like a light. You may find that you have nights where you go to bed really early and you sleep in really late, and you might take a couple of naps. You might take more naps than usual. You might just be a little tired. You might be feeling a little foggy headed, a little unclear. Some people have said that their memory has been slipping a little bit, and they don't remember these things. They don't remember these details, and what's wrong with me? Like normally I remember all this stuff, but I'm not remembering things. So a part of all of this is that we're integrating light literally into our bodies. There have been so much electrical energy also that's been moving and shifting through the atmosphere, which here there have been a lot of lightning storms around the world. There have been a lot of lightning storms. Lightning is a discharge of electricity. We are electrical beings. We are also magnetic beings, right? We are we're electromagnetic beings that we call human. So when there are all these electrical discharges in our atmosphere, it affects us, the human. So that means that you might have had headaches, big headaches, odd headaches, um, unexplainable, like I didn't do anything to deserve this headache. What's happening? Um, Feelings of being hungover and not drinking. Um, Feeling very dehydrated, and not because it's summertime and you're sweating, but just it's a different type of dehydration. So these are some things that I want to talk about. Um, so hopefully it resonates and is of service. So starting off with the dehydration. So normally, like you just drink water, right? You're like, okay, I feel better. I'm hydrated. It's a different type of dehydration, though, that I feel like we're moving through as our bodies are shifting, as we're moving through this on this spiritual path, the ascension process, the movement of a life of recovery, where I'm recovering all the parts and fragments of me that have been hidden or oppressed or whatever, that I'm reclaiming these parts of me into my wholeness, into my fullness. And by doing so, I align myself with my highest self, and I'm holding more light. I am more light. I am more of a light being. I'm more of my higher self. So as we're doing that, as we're moving along this ascension path, water normally would be like, yeah, let me just chug and I'm hydrated. We are needing to hydrate into deeper levels of our being. So that means maybe drinking coconut water, aloe juice, um, eating more fruits. A lot of people have been called to more fruits. I get it, it's summertime. And but just that continuation of things that hydrate on different levels. Chia seeds, putting chia seeds in foods and in beverages because they hold more moisture as they puff up. You eat them and then they moisturize, they hydrate your body longer. They don't moisturize, they hydrate. Um, and getting enough salt in. Not like table salt, the iodized table salt, because y'all that ain't real. Don't be eating that shit. You do you, but I would not encourage it. You know, Himalayan salt, cell salts, multi mineral salts to really replenish electrolytes so that we can hold more hydration in our cells because of the way we're activating our bodies in this process that we're moving through as a collective. Um, the part of the process, there's this purging and this shedding of ways of being that aren't serving us. And that is in relationship to so many things. So like if you have normally been eating unhealthily and but you've been able to like maintain that, you're like, yeah, I'm fine. You know, I can eat this way. It doesn't really bother me. I'm good. You may find that it's starting to bother you now, right? That it's not really working for your body anymore, that you might start to have reactions now. And what I'm finding really interesting is that with this whole um, experience of our spiritual path and health and wellness, spiritual health and physical health, mental health and emotional health, that they're so related. So like if I am inflamed, if I have a lot of inflammation in my body, then I'm going to have a lot more discomfort. One, period. Two, I'm also going to have a lot more discomfort when it comes to holding this light that I'm integrating into my body. Because if I'm inflamed, it's almost like if you imagine a pipe that's like clogged and say that's inflammation, like the pipe itself is like, I'm too inflamed, and the water is the light, you can't hold as much in the pipe, right? So you either got to clear out the inflammation, because if you just keep pushing water through, water through, water through, you might burst the pipe, right? I don't really know if that's true, but like in this analogy, you kind of get that image. So what's happening is that if we're here, we are integrating more light. Literally, it's just happening on a global scale. And if I am in my body in an inflamed state, and I'm not doing the things to shift out of that, to heal that, and to deflame myself, then my body is going to hurt, right? It's going to feel like extreme frustration. It's going to feel like I'm losing control. So that's the emotional and the mental components. But in the physiological sense, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So decreasing inflammation is extremely important as we're moving through the ascension process. What does that look like? First of all, drinking a lot more water, right? Like taking out these chemical drinks that are sold in plastic bottles all the time. Like they're literally designed to make us sick and inflamed. So drinking more water, eating more fruits and vegetables, those things, but really other things too can really decrease inflammation, like breathing, like slow, steady breaths without any intention of anything other than to just be and just breathe. To do things that remove and reduce stress. So, getting outside, going for a walk, talking to people you love, reading books that lift your spirits, um, painting, drawing, dancing, playing, um, you know, whatever, but not stressing out. And I understand that we live in an environment right now that is really stressful. You know, when you turn on the news, if you watch it, there's all this stuff happening around the world, and it's all types of like talking out of two sides of two different faces, because it's all like opposing information, so that we don't really know what truth is. But everything that we're being fed as a society is very fear based. So what that does is, either way, it creates a space in our mind that we're like, I don't know what side is right and what side is wrong. So we're in a state of confusion. And then that creates a space of inflammation in the body because we're not calm and peaceful about it. Now, if we can look at both sides to everything that we're seeing, like, man, that's just nuts. That's nuts. That's nuts that this side is blaming this side and they're both doing the same thing. That's some funny shit right there. And not let it actually affect us, then we start to actually decrease the inflammation in the body. The point and the purpose of decreasing this inflammation is that when we decrease inflammation in the body, our lifestyle changes to support that. I cannot live a I can't live two lives at the same time. I can't live a life that is high stress, um, eating and drinking poisons all the time, extreme inflammation, and peace and healthy and organic and kindness and compassion and support. Like I literally can't do both, right? This one over here, the one that's a more peaceful, less inflamed, lower stress type of a life, allows us to walk on our spiritual path with a lot more ease in the mental, physical, and emotional bodies. But for real. Now, if we're here and we're chasing money, we're chasing the next best thing, and we're always trying to be better because we're not good enough, and I don't know what I'm going to do about money, and I'm going to stress out, and all those things, and I'm just eating McMeals all the time, and I haven't had a real fruit or a real vegetable, and I don't know how long, and everything that I drink comes out of a can or the tap water, which is poison, then my body is going to be inflamed. I am stressed out. If I'm in an unhealthy relationship with myself, someone else, my boss, my family, whatever, like I am stressed out, then my spiritual path, I have no time for my spiritual path. I have no time to integrate light. I ain't got time for that because I'm so stressed out, right? So, what's happening now in the collective is that a lot of people are starting to get inflamed more so than ever because the information and the data that's coming from the TV box and the news media is so inflammatory. It is look at this awful thing. Look at what this police officer did. Look what these people did. Look what this group of people did. Look who's fighting who. Look who's flying here. Look who's flying there. Look at this greenhouse gases. Look at the shape of the earth. I mean, I'm talking it's inundating. And we're coming up on like midterm elections or whatever that is. So it's just gonna ramp up. So it's just going to increase our inflamed states. It's going to increase our stress so that the big pharmaceutical companies can still make more and more money because that's really who runs the government, right? It's the pharmaceutical companies and the banking systems, right? It's the colonizers. So point of this is to keep your stress in check. Like, we're going to have stress. We're going to experience stress. Our bodies are going to go through inflammation times, right? But it's up to you, to me, to realize that and to do something about it. Because I can't rely on other people outside of me to decrease my stress. I can't rely on my partner doing the thing that I want them to do so that I can feel peaceful. I can't wait for my boss to give me the raise so that I can feel okay and safe. We can't do that. We can't rely on the media to tell us when it's safe to go outside. We will never be autonomous then. We'll never recognize our sovereignty. And if we don't recognize our sovereignty, then our bodies will be inflamed because it won't be living its self to the fullest. Life doesn't move through with ease. The energy, the light doesn't move through us with ease at that point. So here we are at this collective now where we're getting a huge influx of light. And what's really interesting is because as this energy is coming in and it's creating headaches or, a stuffy nose or a cough, it's producing mucus because what happens is this light comes in, it clears out density in the body. That changes to mucus, right? It also comes out in emotional ways. So if you're someone that isn't comfortable, or if you're emotionally immature and you don't know how to be with emotions and how to actually process them, then this might be a really challenging time for you. You know, if this energy is coming through and it's moving density through in the form of mucus, and now you have a stuffy nose, okay. If you're in peace and surrender, you're like, oh, okay, like I'm just moving density. It's no big deal. I'm ascending. Or if you're in fear, you might be like, oh my God, what if it's COVID? Then you get stressed out and you increase your inflammation, and then you make it harder for yourself. And it's like shoving water in that pipe, and the pipe is going to want to burst. So it's a time to be in peace and to be in surrender and to be in openness, to be in ease, to be a witness and to let the energy of what's happening to and through your body be experienced and acknowledged and felt and processed through. Because we're moving into a timeline where people are stepping into a new version of themselves, right? It's like the snake, the serpent medicine. The snake has to shed its skin, otherwise it would die. That's where many humans are. You can use the butterfly metaphor. A lot of people are getting ready to bust out of their cocoon right now, which means that I can't hold on to that old skin. I can't hold on to that cocoon. I can't hold on to that caterpillar body. I'm here to be something different. We're here to be something different. We're always growing and evolving and changing who we are into who we are becoming in every now moment. But we also go through like big cycles of it. We also go through like really, really big cycles of it. We're at a point where in this like really, really big cycle of it. So it's like this huge population that are going through like epic shifts. I mean, I'm seeing people like cut off all their hair. I'm seeing people like do huge body modifications, like surgeries and like big tattoo commitments, and like just big image changes. I mean, we're also in Leo season, so I mean, it's thanks Leo, like you cute, like that's what happens in Leo season. Like Leo's like, look at me. But it's like the collective now is like It's show time. It's go time. It's up to you to like step into your spiritual path, into stepping into your spiritual aspect, your higher self. And like not putting on a show about it, but like being it. Being in peace, being in joy, being not just feeling, but like being it, showing up as that. You know, I've been in some environments and just got off a call with someone who was in an environment where there's just a lot of negativity. Like just a lot of people talking about the stuff they don't like, and what about this, and this is awful, and the state of the world, and blah 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 blah. And it's like those people's bodies are just inflamed. Like they are hurting themselves because they're literally holding back light. They're holding back love and peace and acceptance and compassion, right? Because they're just like in this, like, I just want to be grumbly and complain about stuff. That's not a spiritual, I mean, it's a path, but it's not like a spiritual path. So what I'm here to share in this now is that we as a collective are being like launched into this next iteration of who we are becoming sovereignly, individually, and also collectively. I need to drink of water. I realized that because I drink out of a glass jar, if I drink like this, you can see it and it looks weird to see like dry. Anyway, um, I digressed. So, um, yeah, like we're here to walk on a spiritual path. We're here to live in joy, in ease, in comfort. We're here to leave. We're here to leave. Actually, it's what we're here to do. Like I was gonna say live, but leave came out. But it's true. We're all here to die. We're all here to live until we die. So here's the thing: we're here to live until we die. We're not here to slowly die a painful death for 47 3/4 decades. No, like we're here to live fully to the max. And so that when we die, it's just like, cool, what's next? Death? What's after that? I don't even know. But if I'm so stressed out to live my life and I'm believing everything that some program is telling me, then my body is just going to start decaying and dying way sooner than it has to. We don't have to die every day. I mean, technically, we kind of die every day when we go to bed. We like get reborn the next day, but you know what I mean. Like we don't have to just keep dying and disintegrating and hurting more and more and feeding that and believing that that's the only way of being. We really don't have to do that. We actually can live a life that we welcome the death with open arms, just smile on our face while we're dancing and playing and living and creating and being of service to the community, to the earth, to love, to ourselves. But it takes a lot to get out of the program to actually take care of ourselves. Because the state of inflammation is the state of stress. And the state of stress is what we, as a collective, as a culture, have been conditioned to be do, and live in. We have been taught that we must be stressed out, right? No pain, no gain. You have to work hard to get what you want, which is actually against like natural law and divine law. It's actually not in like the law of physics. It's actually nowhere written in any reality except the indoctrination of the way we've been taught to be. So we've been taught to be stressed, and we've been taught to fight, we've been taught to judge. And when we're in judgment, we're fearing judgment. We don't want to be judged, so we judge others, we're projecting. If I'm in fear, like all these things create more stress in my body because it's not natural. It's like, it's not natural. So the invitation is to chill out, yo. The invitation is to chill out, to turn off the media, first and foremost, to recognize what your body is telling you when it says, that is upsetting and stressing me out. Like, I saw this thing on the news of what, it wasn't the regular news because I don't watch that, but it was on Instagram. But I think one of the news stations was on there, and they posted a story about this like really sad experience of a human and their dog that happened in the next town over. And I could feel in my body this reaction. It doesn't mean I need to like go hide myself from the truth of what's happening in the world. But I also know that I can't be looking at that shit 24/7. Right? I can't be watching the stock market all the time. I can't be looking at interest rates every day to see what's up because it's going to stress someone out. It's going to stress me out. And if I'm stressed out, I'm going to inflame my body. Inflammation is where all disease begins. A stressed body creates viruses. Isn't that funny? That they pump us full of all these COVIDicus vaccines and then they pump us with stressors so that the vaccine in our body would attack itself because our body is inflaming itself. And that's what the vaccine was designed to do, is to attack when there's inflammation. And they're telling us to keep drinking these sodas and eat all this shit food. Don't go outside. Don't be active. And just, they're basically giving people shots that attacks inflammation and then teaches them through stress programming and foods and poisons to be a stressed body, to inflame itself. Y'all, the system's messed up. You gotta admit, the system is messed up. So, if you had that vaccine or not, it might be in the highest good to like watch what inflames your body. Because we've known that stress, like I said, causes disease, it causes cancers, it creates a more acidic environment in the body. Things grow in our body when it's acidic that you don't want. You want a more alkaline body. Things move easier, right? Like, so it's important to go into these spiritual practices, the spiritual practices of prayer, of meditation, of contemplation, of not of rumination and like, let me just sit and think about all the bad things I did and all these bad things that other people do and did, but like actually contemplation, like I wonder why that happened. Wonder where that came from. Wonder when that all began. And just like be in contemplation and question. Spiritual practice is like painting. Anything in creation, because creation itself is spirit in its birth state. Like, what? That, like, literally. Creation is spirit in birth state. We are creators, and whatever it is we're creating, that is a creation. So whether it's a fun new meal, an outfit, fun fancy ways to do your hair and makeup, a song, a poem, whatever you got, that is a spiritual practice when it's used with like anything. Like the invitation is to do it with intention, right? To do it with intention, to like, I don't know, connect with something bigger, to let spirit flow through you, to let your higher self guide you, to listen to what great spirit has to say, whatever. But like the invitation is to like really like get all up in your spiritual practice, get into that breath work, get into some peace, come into connections with people that feel good to you, that when you leave their company, you feel better than you did before. If you go to a place and it's causing you stress every time you go, don't go. If you eat a food and it always makes you feel bad, don't eat it. If every time you watch the news you turn it off and you feel like you need a drink, maybe don't watch it. If every time you go out and you have a few drinks and you feel bad about yourself afterward, maybe don't do it. This is the time to change, y'all. This is the time to be like, this is not in alignment for me. This does not feel good. This is not serving my body. This is not serving spirit. This is not serving my ability to be well and be healthy and be of service to life and love. That, I think, is what we're moving through right now. So I hope you're enjoying the ride. It's been fun for me. Like for me, I'm feeling it in my physical body. Um, I had tremendous headache. Oh, it was a doozy of a headache, and then I had like a little fever, and then okay, that was gone. Um, but just it's moving through my physical body, my spirit. I feel good. I feel calm. I feel peaceful. So I feel it just like moving through my body. Um, a lot of people are experiencing just extreme, like I said, tiredness, and then bouts of like, I'm jacked up, I'm awake, and like kind of all over the place. So the invitation is to settle yourself and to become really aware of what inflames your body and what brings sensations to your body that calm it down. You know, looking at the clouds. Like, if you haven't looked at the clouds, like try it. If you haven't just like stared at a tree, try it. And just notice how you feel beforehand and afterward. That's the invitation. If you have a relationship with someone, notice how you feel before you hang out with them and after. If you feel like, yes, then yay. And if you feel heavy and like nervous, or if you don't feel good enough or whatever, then it's just not the right person for you in these nows, and then that means that you get to go back to you and clear your stuff, like come back to you, your spirit, like what's real, what's not, and do that. Please, thank you. Okay. Because, yeah, we're in a very interesting now with just all the planetary placements and all of these fun things. So I hope that you're doing well wherever you are and that you're staying extremely hydrated. Um, breathing. Breathing is very important. I highly encourage it. Please do so fully and often. Um, and just finding peace within, no matter what. Be aware of what's no longer serving you and start to shift it out. Let it purge, let it shed, let it be like that snake skin, and it's just not serving you, then it's no judgment. Doesn't matter. Bye. And if it's serving you, you hold it tight and you keep a part of it. And just keep checking in with yourself. Is this serving me or is this not serving me? Look at it from a place of curiosity and then take a step in the direction that is of service to you. And it will make the inflammation in your body shift. It will allow you to hold more light in your body as we're going through this global shift of solar energy. Because we are the sun just as much as we are the stars, as we are the water, as we are the air, as we are the earth. We're all of it. So we get to make room for all of it, not just them old, stagnant, inflamed, like, fear, judgment, lack mentality. It's a doozy. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you're doing well. Keep the inflammation as low as you can, and remember how loved you are. And you're doing everything great. You're not messing up. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're in the perfect time, perfect place, perfect now, because you've readied yourself to be exactly where you are in this now moment. You couldn't be anywhere without you. You couldn't get yourself to where you are without you, and you're going to be with you until that very last breath. So take it easy, lemon squeezy, please. Without squeezing lemons. Look like very little butt cheeks. Anyway, yeah, yo, take it easy and enjoy this path of spirituality. Enjoy the path of spirituality. Like, use it for your highest good in your body, your mind, and your spirit. And I will see you all next week. And I love you so much. Peace.